Yes, in the previous class, we were discussing about this character class and matching the dissimilar patterns. Uh, Now we'll continue with the next topic, that is escaping and quoting. What is this escaping and quoting is? See, in some case or sometimes, okay. Yes, in the previous class we had discussed about this character class and all the other remaining wild cards. Sometimes there is a chances of the patterns, the wild cards what we have used, there is a need of those wild cards in the file names itself. Example like this: if the situation comes where the file name contains star, see here, there is a folder directory called directory October 1. In that there is a file chapter star. The file name contains chapter star. If the name contains star, then how to match that file? CD dir October 1. Now the control is inside the dir October 1 directory. Inside that, now I want to match, I want to find the file which contains star, and also the file name should start with chap. If I do like this, ls chap star, see, you are going to see all the files. You are going to see all the files. But I want the only the file name chap star. This star indicates 0 or all. In that case, what we should do? See, if I do like this, ls chap star, in that case, it is going to match 5 characters, minimum 4, 0, or more than that. chap star 1, 2, 3, 4. But I want only chap star. In that case, what I should do is, I should nullify the meaning of the star in that command. If I remove the meaning of that star, then that star will be treated as the part of the file name. That star will be treated as a part of the file name. In order to do that, what I'll do is ls space within the quotes, I'll enter the file name chap star. In that case, what the meaning of that star is now, it is a part of the file name. It is not a wild card. It is not a wild card. See now, the file name is listed only chap star. This is what this quoting is all about. The quoting is, if you want to include the wildcards in your file names or anywhere, in that case, if you want to remove the real meaning of that wildcard, in that case, you have to enclose that wildcard within the quotes. If you do that, it is not going to be interpreted as a wildcard. It will be treated as a part of the file name or any other thing. That is the meaning of quoting. That is the meaning of quoting. Quoting is nothing but where in the command, where exactly you are going to, include the quotes. The meaning of that is, it will be treated as a normal file name. It will not be treated as an wild card. That is the meaning of quoting. It is not always, everything should be included within the quotes. Some part of the command you can include it in the quotes. Remaining thing you can left as it is. See here, rm chap star. If I do like this, see here, RM CHAP star, the meaning of this is it is going to delete all the 6 files. It is going to delete 6 files, remove 6 files. If I include the same thing within the quotes, the meaning of that is it is going to only remove the file name CHAP star. That is the meaning of this single quotes, quoting. The single quotes or the double quotes. That is the meaning of quoting. That should be, if you enclose that wildcard within the quotes, the the meaning of that enclosed special characters are turned off. That is the meaning. What is the meaning of that? The star, zero or more patterns, that will be turned off. What is this escaping? See, this escaping is, see here, that is the meaning of quoting. The escaping is, I'll show it with the command echo. I'm going to print a message, new line character is /n. This you already know, /n is a new line character. If I enter, see the new line character is n. I am not able to print that /n. It is not going to print this /n. In order to do that, what you should do is you have to nullify this is the escape sequence slash. A slash is an escape character. Remember this backward slash, which is called as a escape character. But in my output, I want /n. In that case, what I'll do is I'm going to nullify the meaning of the forward slash with another, sorry, backward slash with another slash. If I do like this, then you are able to print the new line character is /n. What it is doing in this, the one more slash is, it is going to remove the real meaning of this slash. It will be treated as a normal character. The first slash, it is going to remove the real meaning of this slash and it will make be available in the output. This is the meaning of escaping. Escaping is nothing but removing the real meaning of an any character. Instead of using multiple times, what is the main difference between this escaping and quoting is, both the things it is going to remove the real meaning of the characters, the wildcards. Both the escaping and quoting, this slash and single quotes, this slash or this single quotes, both are going to remove the special meaning of those characters. But what is the difference is, wherever it is required, multiple times you have to include this backward slash, multiple times you have to add. But everything, if you include within the single quotes, all the real meaning of those characters is nullified. See here, instead of this single character, what I'll do is, see now, within the single quotes I have included the same thing, new line character is /n. Instead of double slash, I have included everything inside the single quotes. What is the advantage? You can observe it once again. The new line character, in the beginning also I'll write /n, the new line character is /n. I'm able to print /n, new line character is /n. Without the quotes, if I want to print the same message, without the quotes, if I want to do the same message, double times I have to add this slash. How many times in the message it will be, if you want to remove the meaning, those many times you have to add this escaping characters. For that reason, the quoting is useful. And also in between of the commands, you can directly add this quoting. This is the advantage of quoting and escaping. Both the things, escaping or the quoting, it is just going to remove the special meaning. Remember, this is the one. To remove the special meaning, we use escaping and quoting. Multiple time advantage with the quoting is multiple times of adding this backslash you can avoid just by simply enclosing it within the quotes. That is the meaning of this advantage of the quoting. The same way, the space also you can remove. Space meaning you can remove if you include the space in between. See, the file name contains my space document.doc. That is the file name. But if you give the space in the command, it will be treated as this is a separate file name. This is a separate file name. rm my space document.doc. If you click enter, rm my document.doc. If you write like this, the meaning in for the command is my is one file name, document.doc is another file name. But in the background, the file name is my document.doc. You have included the space in between. You have included a space in between. Then what we should do is you have to nullify the meaning of this is. In that case, what you can do is you can within the single quotes you can include. In that case, it will be treated as a single file name, or else for this before this space you have to include this slash backslash followed by space is there means then it is going to be treated as a single file name. The space is not going to be treated as another command. This is how you can nullify the space, the backward slash, so many things. Star within this brackets, this space, this backslash, the new line character, all those things you can escape. We'll go to the next topic, that is redirection. See, you have observed the command that is wc, which one? Word count. Word count. What is a file name? In that count.txt. The count.txt, I'll write I don't like Unix. I don't like Unix. See, count.txt. If I enter word count, this file has been read and the output it is going to print. How exactly in the background it is going to work? How WPC is going to read this? How this output will be displayed here? Everything that we are going to discuss it now. This is the three standard files is, there are three standard files. One is standard input, standard output, standard error files. There are three files are there: input, output, and error files. These are the three files. Remember, three files. They are being in the background. Those three files, what it contains, they are just the stream of characters. There is some program, they are the stream of characters. They are going to receive the commands, inputs, and it will give you the output. Remember, they are the three standard files. Standard input is one file, standard output is another file, standard error is one. third file. There are 3 files. And these 3 files, already it will be in the operating system. Those 3 files, they are being associated with the specific hardware. They are being devices. Standard input always will be associated with the keyboard. What is the meaning of that? Associated means the address of the keyboard, it is being stored in that particular standard input. Anything you enter from the keyboard, directly it will go to that file, standard input. From there, it will be communicated some other places. The address of the keyboard, it is known to the standard input file. That is what the meaning of that is. You are going to use the word file or stream. Standard input stream or standard input file, any names I'll use. The standard input, it is associated with default devices. Which are the default devices? For standard input, it is going to be associated with a keyboard. Standard output is associated with a display. Standard error is also associated with the display. Remember this. 3 standard files, and these files is nothing but they are a stream of characters. They are ready to receive the inputs and provide the outputs, and they are connected with the hardware devices. Input file is connected with the keyboard, output file connected with the display, error file is connected with the also display. If you understand this much, then we'll go to the next one, how exactly it works with the command. When the users log in into the system, the shell responsibility is, it is going to make those 3 files, standard input file, standard output file, and standard error file. They have been available for these commands. The responsibility of the shell is those 3 are available for command execution or any other thing. First, we'll discuss the standard input. See, this standard input, by default, it is keyboard. Remember, default it is keyboard, but it is not mandatory always. It will be associated with the keyboard. After that, when there is a requirement, it is going to be switched to the other devices. It can be the disk. How? We'll see now. See, WC, I'll enter WC, word count. This is a command. I'll click on enter. Then if I don't give any file name, the standard input file is been enabled. I can type the message now. I don't like Unix because this subject is not theoretical, right? If I enter, I can one more message. I like DBMS. In this way, you can enter any number of message. When you can stop is whenever you enter the command Control D, it is going to stop. The input stops. See, it has given you the message 1, 13, 69. 3 columns it has given the output. Number of lines is 1. 13 words are there. 13 words, 69 characters. That is the meaning of this. Number of lines, number of words, number of characters. You can count. This is treated as a single line. 13 words, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 words. You can count, there will be 69 characters. See, this word count, Without the file name, when I enter, without the file name, when I enter, what it is going to do is the shell will enable the standard input. The shell responsibility is it is going to enable the standard input, and the keyboard, the user is asked to enter from the keyboard. Whenever you enter from here, then it will be given as an input to the WC. WC is not going to worry about the standard input, whether it is coming from the keyboard or whether it is coming from the disk. The WC is not going to worry. The shell responsibility is to enable the standard input and take the input from the standard input and give it to the WC. Then WC is going to execute. Therefore, the standard input can be from the three input source. One is from the keyboard, from the keyboard you can pass, or sometimes the redirection symbol will give the input. Always from the keyboard, as a user I will not enter. I'll use the redirection operator. I'll use the redirection operator and I'll pass the inputs to the file or with the pipeline. We'll see. We have seen from the keyboard. From the keyboard, standard input was enabled. This is one example. Just if I enter WC, then the user will enter and that input will be fed as an input to the command. The other case, is the same thing. What I'll do is I'll enter in the file name count.txt. Now the content is inside the count.txt. Now what I'll do is WC count dot txt. You can write like this or write like this. Say here, this redirection operator, in this case, what the shell will do is finally WC is, it is going to get some content. It is going to get some content, but that command is not, that coding part is not written in the WC. The responsibility of the shell is to bring the content. In this case, the content is been read from the file and it is been redirected, this operator, and it is given as input to the WC. You can see the output 21371, two lines, 13 words, 71 character. This is how the standard input works. The standard input, it is not always from the keyboard. The standard input will get from the file. Where exactly the file is? The file is inside the disk. In this case, the standard input is read from the disk. In the same way, the standard input, you can get it from the pipe symbol. Means it is an output of another command. It's an output of the another command. Just remember these two cases. One is from the keyboard, another is from the redirection operator. What exactly it happens in the background is whenever this redirection operator, the less than symbol is being is included in the command, then the shell will open the disk file sample.txt, wc less than sample.txt. It will open it for reading. After that, the standard input file, it is been tied to the some default device, that is keyboard. It is going to unplug from there and it is going to assign to the disk. It is going to assign to the sample.txt. See, the WC is going to read it from the standard input. From the standard input, we'll give the input to the WC. From there, it is going to be read and it will show you the output. That is how it works. Two ways. This is the first way using the keyboard. Another one is with the symbol. The standard, another one is the standard output. The standard output is nothing but whenever you enter, see here, whenever you type something, you see the output here. Who is going to give this output? The standard output file. The commands whenever you execute, that is directly give it to the standard output file. That standard output file, it is going to be printed on the terminal output. That is why you can see the standard output in three possible ways. One is to the terminal. By default, it will be thrown to the terminal. WC less than count.txt, output will be thrown on the terminal. This is the one place. This is a default. The another thing is you are going to use this greater than symbol. If you use this redirection symbol greater than or double greater than symbol, in that case what happens is the output will be fed to the another file. The output of the command will be to the another file, or it is an input to the another program itself. It is an input to the another program that is using the pipeline. In three ways, the standard output can be represented. One example is, we'll see now, WC. The first way is this one, count.txt. This is the first way, where exactly the standard output has thrown the output to the terminal. Whenever the kernel executes the command wc count.txt, that output will be given to the standard output file. The standard output file, by default, it is going to be associated with the terminal. That is why it will be displayed on the terminal. The next one, wc count.txt. I don't want the standard output to throw it on the display. Now the standard output, it is going to redirect to the another file, that is foo.txt. The file name is foo.txt. Now the standard output, it is going to write the file inside this file. The standard output, see here, it is going to write the content to the file. This is the second way. The standard output is being redirected to the file. Who has written into the foo.txt is standard output file. It is not WC. WC is just going to execute. Same way. The third one is the output pipe symbol we are going to use, and then what we do is we'll use the another command. The output of the command will be using the pipe symbol. Using the pipe symbol, we are going to give the output to the other program, the cat command. Is it clear? This is a pipe symbol is an what it is going to do is the output of this command is an input to the second command. In that way it works. It is going to combine. In that way also you can use the standard output. It is an input to the another program using the pipeline. Three ways: terminal, redirection operator, another one is pipeline. I'll discuss this standard error afterwards. Please send your attendance.